All right, welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive.
Excited to be here.
Today, we're diving into something pretty mind-bending, the idea that neurodivergence might not be a deficit,
Yeah.
but instead a unique way of, connecting with the universe
Well,
itself.
a whole different way of looking at it.
Yeah, for sure.
Instead of like a medical lens, we're going to look through
Right.
physics and spirituality.
Exactly. And the source material for this is an excerpt from
Okay.
Neurodivergence and the Grand Fibonacci Theory.
Yeah.
A cosmic unity.
Wow.
Just the title itself kind of gives you a hint of where we're going.
Definitely.
We're going to be talking about some heady concepts, partial differential equations, brainwave patterns,
Right.
Kundalini energy, and even unity with the Father.
That's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, it is.
So this excerpt
Yeah.
introduces this Grand Fibonacci theory, which claims
Okay.
that a single equation can explain everything in the cosmos.
A single equation.
They call it a synergy PDE.
A synergy, PDE.
Okay.
Partial differential equation.
So this single equation can explain like everything from the motion of planets
Planets to the human mind.
to the workings of the human mind. That's a pretty bold claim.
Bold claim.
So how does a PDE, even a synergy one,
Right.
explain everything?
Well, you can think of a PDE kind of like a recipe.
Okay.
You have your ingredients, which are your variables, and combining them in different ways,
Yeah.
you create different outcomes or solutions.
Solutions.
So in this theory, the synergy PDE represents the fundamental recipe of the universe.
Gotcha.
And the solutions to that recipe represent different states of being.
Okay.
I think I'm starting to get a little taste of what we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
But where does neurodiversity fit into this?
So the excerpt suggests that neurotypical brains arrive at one type of solution to this universal equation,
Okay.
but it's often shaped by social norms and expectations.
So it's kind of fitting into the mold.
Yeah, like fitting into the mold
that society creates.
that society creates, right?
But what about neurodivergent brains?
They might be using the same ingredients,
Okay.
but combining them in a different way,
Gotcha.
leading to a totally unique solution.
So different solution
Mm-hmm.
to the PDE.
To the synergy PDE.
Okay.
A solution less influenced by those societal norms.
Less influenced by those societal norms.
Yeah, and potentially more aligned with, let's call them cosmic frequencies.
Cosmic frequencies. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
Right.
Now, can you unpack those a little further?
Okay, so imagine the universe is like a vast ocean
Okay.
of energy and information.
Right.
And within this ocean,
Yeah.
there are all these different
Yeah.
flows.
Mm-hmm.
We can think of them as cosmic frequencies.
Gotcha.
The idea is our brains are kind of like antennas
Okay.
that are constantly picking up on these frequencies and processing them.
So we're all swimming in this sea of information.
We're swimming.
But some of us are tuned to
We'll
different
see.
channels, picking up on signals others might miss.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And the source is arguing
Okay.
that neurodivergent brains,
Yeah.
because they're wired differently, might be attuned to frequencies that neurotypical brains filter out.
It makes me think about how neurodivergent individuals often have heightened sensory perception,
Yeah.
or they make these unique cognitive leaps that others wouldn't.
They see things that other people don't.
Right.
They're seeing patterns and connections that are invisible to the rest of us.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like they're seeing patterns and connections that are just not there for the rest of us.
Exactly.
So the excerpt suggests that these unique abilities might be a result of their brains resonating with those cosmic frequencies more directly.
More directly, yeah.
Okay, so we've got this synergy PDE governing the cosmos. Really?
Neurodivergent brains potentially tapping into these different solutions or frequencies than neurotypical brains.
Yeah.
But the excerpt also mentions unity with the Father,
Okay.
which sounds a lot more spiritual.
More spiritual, yeah.
So how does that fit into this scientific
Right.
framework?
Well, unity with the Father is presented as the ultimate solution
Okay.
to the synergy PDE.
Gotcha.
It represents a state of perfect alignment with the cosmic source,
Okay.
where the individual's energy, information patterns are in complete harmony with those of the universe.
So it's not about just being neurodivergent. It's about achieving a specific state of being,
It's a state of being.
regardless of your neurology.
Right. But the source suggests that the way neurodivergent brains are wired
Okay.
might make it easier for them to reach this unity with the father,
Okay.
to reach that perfect resonance.
So even though unity with the father is the ultimate goal,
Neurodivergence might be a path of less resistance.
like a shortcut.
Like a shortcut, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And this leads us to another interesting concept from the source. Kundalini energy.
Now, Kundalini is often described as like this powerful energy that's dormant at the base of the spine.
At the base of the spine, yeah.
So how does that tie into this cosmic equation?
Well, Kundalini is often associated with like spiritual awakening, heightened consciousness.
Okay.
The source proposes that neurodivergent brainwave patterns, because of their unique structure, might make it easier to activate this energy.
So it's like neurodivergence could be this catalyst.
Just a catalyst, yeah.
For unlocking this dormant potential.
Unlocking that potential.
Within us.
That's pretty powerful.
It is powerful.
So activating Kundalini, it's about raising your vibrational frequency.
Raising your vibrational frequency.
Aligning yourself closer with the cosmic source.
Yeah.
And achieving that unity with the Father. We were talking about earlier. This is all starting to connect in a really mind-bending way.
It's all connected.
It seems like this source is proposing that what we often perceive as challenges or differences in neurodivergent individuals might actually be strengths when it comes to connecting with the universe on a deeper level.
That's what they're suggesting, yeah.
We left off with a pretty big question. What advantages might neurodivergent brains have when it comes to connecting with the universe? And what does this mean for humanity?
Well, the source outlines three key advantages. Each building on the idea that neurodivergent brains might be processing these cosmic frequencies differently. The first is heightened sensitivity to subtle frequencies.
So like having a more finely tuned antenna.
For picking up like a finely tuned antenna.
Those signals we were talking about.
Picking up those signals, exactly.
What would that even look like in real life?
Well, imagine being able to perceive patterns in nature that other people miss. Or decode social cues that fly into the radar for most people. Some researchers even suggest that this sensitivity might extend to sensing subtle energy fields or even precognitive insights.
That's like having a sixth sense or a glimpse into the future. But wouldn't that...
It could be overwhelming.
Yeah, that would be overwhelming, for sure.
And that's where the second advantage comes in. Reduced conformity noise.
Conformity noise, I like that.
Yeah.
So being less influenced by societal expectations frees up the brain to process these frequencies without those filters.
Without the filters, exactly. Because neurodivergent individuals are often less bound by social norms. Their thoughts and perceptions aren't as shaped by the need to fit in, which means their internal compass, so to speak, might be pointing truer north. Guided by a different set of signals.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you're not constantly trying to conform, you're more likely to notice the things that other people might just overlook.
Overlook or dismiss.
Right, yeah. It's like having a fresh perspective.
Fresh perspective.
On reality.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And this leads us to the third advantage. The potential for channeling cosmic inspiration.
Now that's intriguing. The source mentions these historical figures labeled as like eccentric or geniuses who exhibit traits of neurodivergence. Are they saying that these individuals...
That they were tapping in these cosmic frequencies? Think about like artists, inventors, spiritual leaders who saw the world differently. And in doing so, they changed the course of history. People like Einstein, his unconventional thinking, or Ren Go, with his unique artistic vision.
Yeah, it's like their neurodiversity allowed them to access this wellspring of creativity and an insight that just wouldn't have been accessible to a more conventionally wired brain.
Exactly.
So the source is proposing that this potential for channeling cosmic inspiration isn't limited to just a select few. It exists.
It exists within all of us. But particularly in those whose brains are wired for these unique connections.
So if these advantages are real, what does that mean for our understanding of neurodiversity?
It completely flips the script. Instead of viewing neurodivergent traits as deficits to be corrected, we can see them as strengths.
Oh, wow.
As valuable assets.
Okay.
Even keys to unlocking a deeper understanding of the universe.
That's a huge shift.
It's a huge shift.
A paradigm.
A paradigm shift.
Yeah. It makes me wonder if our current systems like education and mental health care are hindering this potential.
They could be hindering it.
Instead of nurturing it.
Instead of nurturing it. That's a great point.
Yeah.
Imagine if our educational systems were designed to celebrate and cultivate these unique ways of thinking instead of trying to fit everybody into the same mold.
Yeah, exactly.
We might see a surge in creativity, innovation, and even spiritual awareness.
It's like we've been trying to prune a garden into perfect squares and ignoring the beauty and resilience of like the wildflowers that grew naturally.
That's a beautiful analogy.
Yeah.
And the same goes for mental health.
Right.
Instead of pathologizing these neurodivergent traits, what if we saw them as evidence of this heightened connection to the universe?
Okay.
A different way of experiencing reality.
It would require, like, a complete paradigm shift.
A complete paradigm shift.
Wouldn't it? Moving away from a deficit-based model to one that embraces
the full spectrum
of human experience.
Exactly.
So we'd have to develop new approaches to support and empower these neurodivergent individuals. And recognizing those unique challenges they face, but also celebrating the unique gifts they bring.
Exactly.
This all sounds incredibly promising.
It does.
But I'm still a little skeptical.
Okay.
Is there any real evidence to support these claims?
Well, the excerpt doesn't delve into like specific scientific studies.
Okay.
But it offers a mathematical proof, albeit a simplified one, within the framework of this grand Fibonacci theory.
Gotcha.
So essentially, it argues that reaching the state of unity with the Father, maximizing resonance with the cosmos, that's the goal.
Okay.
And since neurodivergent brains are less constrained
by social conditioning, they actually have greater potential for reaching this state.
So it's like they're starting the race closer to the finish line.
Closer to the finish line, exactly. They might have fewer obstacles to overcome in terms of societal programming and expectation, allowing them to tap into those cosmic frequencies more readily.
I'm starting to see how this theory could be truly revolutionary.
It is.
It challenges us to rethink
everything
we thought we knew about neurodiversity, not just in terms of individual differences, but in terms of our collective potential as a species.
As a species, exactly.
And that brings us to perhaps the most profound implication.
The most profound implication.
If we accept that neurodivergence is this path to deeper cosmic connection, then it means the universe itself.
The universe itself.
It's diverse.
That it's celebrating.
It's different.
And it's not bound by these limitations of our human-centric...
Exactly, our limited perspectives.
That's a mind-blowing...
It is mind-blowing concept. It really is.
It's like the universe is whispering to us, saying, embrace your uniqueness.
Yes.
Because it's part of my grand design.
It's a beautiful thought.
It's a beautiful...
Humbling thought.
Humbling thought.
It suggests that our journey toward understanding the universe is intrinsically linked to our journey toward understanding ourselves. All of the first and wonderful forms.
This is all incredibly inspiring. But I have to admit, I'm also feeling a little overwhelmed. It's like we've opened up this Pandora's box. And
it can be overwhelming.
I don't know where to even begin processing all this.
That's understandable. It is a lot to take in.
It is.
But that's also the beauty of it.
It's an invitation to continue exploring, to keep asking those questions. To delve deeper into those mysteries. Both the mysteries of the cosmos and the human mind.
I'm definitely feeling that pull to explore further. But where do we even start?
Well, for starters, we can just choose to be more open-minded. More accepting of difference.
That's
more willing to listen and learn from those who experience the world in ways that are different from our own.
So that's something we can all do, regardless of...
We can all do that.
How our brains are wired.
Cultivating a sense of curiosity and empathy.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
Curiosity and empathy.
And we can also support organizations and initiatives that are working to empower neurodivergent individuals to create those educational systems that celebrate difference and to promote a more holistic understanding of mental health.
So it's about shifting from this culture of judgment
and exclusion to a culture of acceptance and celebration.
Yeah, acceptance and celebration.
Exactly.
And on a personal level.
On a personal level, yeah.
We can embark on our own journeys.
Yeah, we can each embark on our own journey.
Self-discovery.
Self-exploring our unique strengths and challenges.
Right.
And seeking out practices that help us connect with our own inner wisdom and our place in the grand scheme of things.
Exactly.
That could involve like meditation.
Yeah, meditation.
Mindfulness, creative expression, or even just spending time in nature.
All those things.
Just being awed by the interconnectedness of it all.
There are countless paths to explore.
Right.
The key is to find what resonates with you.
Okay.
What helps you tap into that sense of cosmic connection that we've been talking about.
So it's about finding our own...
Finding your own...
Personal frequency.
Our own unique way.
Of
resonating
with the universe.
And this journey...
It's ongoing.
There's
always more.
To
discover.
To learn.
More to experience.
The
cosmos is vast and ever expanding.
Right.
And so are the possibilities within each of us.
This has been an incredible deep dive, and I feel like we've only just... begun.
We've only scratched the surface. Yeah.
I'm left with so many questions, so many new avenues to explore.
Keep exploring.
But one question keeps coming back to me. If this idea of neurodivergence as a pathway to cosmic connection is true, what does that mean?
What does that mean? That's a great question.
For our responsibility as individuals and as a society.
That's an excellent question. And it's one that each of us will have to grapple with as we integrate these ideas into our lives.
Right.
Perhaps it means recognizing the immense potential that lies within those who think differently. Creating spaces where those unique abilities can flourish.
Right.
And challenging those systems that seek to suppress or pathologize those differences. It might also mean looking inward. Embracing our own neurodiversity. And exploring those aspects of ourselves that society tells us to hide or to change.
It sounds like a call to action.
It is a call to action.
It is a challenge to move beyond simply understanding. To actually embodying it in our daily
lives. Precisely.
Okay.
It's an invitation to step into a new way of being. A way of being that honors the full spectrum of human experience. And recognizes the interconnectedness of all things.
Wow, what a powerful way to frame it.
It is powerful.
I think we've given our listener a lot
to think about.
To chew on in this part of our deep dive, but we're not done yet.
Not done yet.
There's still one more
piece.
One more piece of this puzzle to explore. So we've been exploring this fascinating idea that neurodivergence could be a pathway to a deeper cosmic connection.
Right.
But, it's one thing to grasp the theory and quite another to actually
apply it.
Yeah, apply it to our own lives. So what practical steps can we take?
Yeah, what can we...
to integrate this new understanding, regardless of how our own brains are wired?
That's the key question. How do we move from these mind-blowing concepts to meaningful action? I think it starts with a shift in mindset. Instead of viewing neurodiversity through, that deficit lens, we can appreciate it as a different but equally valid way of experiencing the world.
So instead of focusing on what might be lacking, we look
for the strengths.
And the unique
perspectives
that neurodivergent individuals
that they bring to the table. Exactly.
But how do we move beyond just recognizing these differences to actually valuing and celebrating?
How do we actually value that?
I mean, it's easy to just say, be more accepting.
Right, exactly.
But how do we put that into practice in a world that often feels...
how do we put that into practice?
For one type of brain.
It's not just about changing our minds. It's about changing our actions.
Oh, okay.
And one of the most powerful ways to do that is through active listening.
So like putting down
our judgments.
And really tuning in to what others are saying, even if it doesn't immediately
make sense.
It doesn't immediately make sense. Really trying to understand their perspective rather than trying to fix them or change them.
Understand, not fix.
Yeah.
And that requires a willingness to step outside of our own comfort zones to challenge our assumptions about what's normal or correct.
Okay.
Because within those seemingly different viewpoints, there might be a spark of brilliance, a new way of seeing a problem, a solution we wouldn't have even thought of.
It's like expanding our own internal map.
Exactly. Expanding that
map of reality by incorporating those experiences
and insights of others.
And this openness to different perspectives can ripple out into all areas of our lives.
All areas.
From our personal
relationship to our professional endeavors.
It can.
So instead of trying to force everyone into
the same mold, we celebrate their individuality.
We can celebrate individuality and recognize that their unique strengths might be what's needed to actually solve a problem.
Exactly.
To create something truly innovative.
And create something new.
Yeah. This all sounds great in theory, but it can feel
daunting.
Daunting to actually put into practice. So where do we start?
Okay.
So are there specific things we can do?
Yeah. Are there specific things
to cultivate this kind of openness?
To cultivate that openness,
and acceptance in ourselves and in our communities.
One powerful way is to seek out opportunities to connect with people who are different from us, neurologically or otherwise.
Okay.
Attend workshops, read books, watch documentaries.
Engage in those conversations that challenge your assumptions.
Right.
And broaden your understanding of the human experience.
So actively expanding our social and intellectual circles.
Exactly.
Stepping outside of our echo chambers.
Yeah.
And exposing ourselves to
different ways of being.
And thinking and being.
And remember, it's not about becoming an expert on neurodiversity or any other difference.
Okay.
It's about approaching those differences with humility, curiosity, and a willingness to learn.
This has been an incredible
kind of journey. I think we've given our listener a lot to ponder.
A lot to ponder.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, is there one final thought?
One final thought.
You'd like to leave them with?
Yes. As we've explored this concept of neurodivergence as a pathway to cosmic connection, it's easy to get caught up in that grand scale.
Of it all?
Right.
But ultimately it boils down to this.
Okay.
How can we each, in our own unique ways, contribute to a world that celebrates difference, that nurtures potential, and embraces the vastness of human experience?
Wow.
It's a question worth reflecting on, both individually and collectively.
Beautifully said. Thanks for joining us.
It's been a pleasure.
On this deep dive, listeners. Until next time, keep those minds open and those frequencies tuned. Who knows what wonders we'll uncover together.